So, and I don't think it's in any of these other places. All right. The new ship does have day one sourcing. It's right here. It'll take you 100 days of doing your claim if you can do a double claim. It does use the solo Section 31 access keys to unlock. So that may take away from some of the other things you might be working on here in terms of other techs or artifacts or whatnot in order to get it. Might slow you down a little bit on some of those, but it's not overly expensive. 100 days from today, because it's available for sourcing already, is July 17th. So keep that in mind if you are thinking about, do I want to buy this new ship or do I just want to wait for it? July 17th, right in the middle of your summer vacation, would be when you'd be able to unlock it, assuming you keep up with your currencies to keep claiming your blueprints every day. Obviously, there's still other stuff in here that you're going to continue to want to get, whether it's, favors or whatnot. You're still going to have to keep coming in here and doing your actual waves. And the big perk of this new ship, one of the big perks, is supposedly this new GS-31 refinery. Now, I don't have that unlocked because you have to have the ship to see it. But I think this is the sheet I want. And let me just make sure. Yeah. So I think this is what I'm looking for here. So this is your refinery. This is on a bunch of discords. Obviously, there's 60 people in here looking at it right now. So you've got the strong box. This is going to give you the parts you need to upgrade the ship, as well as the other items that you need to do the research. You're talking about very small, very limited amounts of parts. And if we look at the actual ship on stfc.space, we go look at all GS-31, which is starts as a grade 4 interceptor. Let's just drag this over here for a second. Did it break? It's not there? Why is it not? All right, well, it's not loading. So I can't look up and find out how many parts it actually takes to upgrade. That's a bummer. But obviously these part values are pretty low. And if you're looking at some of the other stuff in terms of, how quickly you can move up through the thing, it's probably going to take their time and probably going to take you, this might take you a week to go from 1 to 2, might take you 8 or 9 days to go from 2 to 3, maybe 2 or 3 weeks to go from 3 to 4, and then it's going to probably slow down even further from there. So there's also officer acquisition. There's your Rachel Garrett, your Zeph. There's your Section 31 Giorgio, and just to sort of, water down the refinery a little bit, we're throwing in Enterprise E, Riker, and Una. Because, impulse speed is kind of important in waves, but not necessarily a big demand. But there you go. And as you tier up the ship, the shard chances change. So you start with, you're getting most likely 1 shard per pull. Now it starts to drop the lower numbers and the higher numbers start to go up a little bit. I don't know why this one dips like it does. Your 3s seem to kind of fluctuate a little too much for my liking. But your 5s steadily increase, although this doesn't seem right as well here, tier 6. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe because your epics are going up, that they're lowering the rares. I don't know. But you've got opportunities to do some daily sourcing. It's a daily cooldown. As long as you're using your S-31 ship to get the currency for it, you'll end up pulling all this stuff. And then the other thing over here is the ship parts. And this is what everyone was super excited about because they were going to get so many ship parts to be able to level up their ship so they can move up faster. And I mean, we don't have all the data yet. Some of these boxes still need help getting filled in. But, some of these numbers are a bit lower than people were hoping for. For a single chest pull, assuming you can only do one pull, you're looking at small amounts of uncommon and rare. You're getting a decent chunk of commons, but if you're a G5 player and you got this thing up to like tier 4, you're getting 810 uncommon. Okay, that'll get you through the first couple levels of a new ship. But then you get to those rare parts and it's like I'm getting 55 a day. Well, just for argument's sake, if I go look at, let's see what we got here I can look at. Here we go. Here's a tier 6 Vorcha that I have just lying around. Well, that needs 300 per component. That one doesn't take it. Some of these don't take it. They're still using uncommons. But some of the stuff starting to use rare here at tier 6, which is usually why players tend to stop there. And now we're starting with some of the smaller numbers at like 300 or so. And if we go up to the next class of ship and we're start looking at like, oh, if I want to take a Sanctus up pretty far, what kind of numbers am I looking at here? I'm still looking at over 1,000 per component on some of this stuff. Some of these are a little smaller, 500, 800, but I'm still looking at, 5 or 6,000 rare parts to take this the last couple of tiers. And yep, the Rotaran is still here. This is tier 7. If I want to take my epic even further, well, now we're also looking at 500 plus parts per component. This is kind of right on the cusp of where it's still using some uncommons and stuff too. So getting 80 a day lets me do one component a week. So that's not great. And obviously you can keep taking it up higher and higher. But I mean, at some of these tiers, you're getting 55, 60 a day. I mean, it's guaranteed, which is nice. But you're also only getting it for one type of ship. You're not getting it, it's not just like, oh, I'm getting 55 Interceptor, Explorer, and Battleship parts. It's like, no, you're only getting one. Pick one. Like the other refineries, like the Eviscerator refinery. So, yeah, it's better. Every little bit helps. It's just not as exciting as people were hyping it up to be. So, and then here you go. Here's the upgrade chart we were talking about in terms of part cost and days to upgrade. There you go. So if you're doing a double chest pull and you're getting 170 doubled up to 340 per day, right? It takes you 7 days. So if you can't do a double chest pull because you're not killing enough waves or whatever, and you can't do a double chest pull with this thing, it would be 2 weeks to get out of tier 1. So if you're in your mid 40, I think 45 is what's required to build it. So if you're 45 to 50, maybe you're struggling a little bit, it might be a little slower. For some of the players who are in the 50s or 60s who are getting this thing, they should be able to source the parts successfully to kind of move up through the earlier tiers, or just buy the pack and jump over the first 4 or 5 tiers. Joe, you had a question? I'm sorry. Have a great night. Thank you for being here, though. You want advice to an Ops 46? I'm sorry I missed that earlier. As to what to buy in an event store? I kind of addressed that. Well, I pointed out all the good things. It's hard to answer specific questions because you don't know what somebody already has. But, all right. So here's all your ship info. Here's your research chart. And your warp range. And your ops level. Good stuff. Good graphics. A lot easier to read. Thank you to Jules, Quasel, Charpy, Blue, and everyone else who helped submitting data and stuff. Obviously, they still have a lot of boxes to finish and fill in. Fire away, Joe. What's your question? We'll get that information hopefully over the next couple of days. Can you get the link to the sheet? Yeah, there's the link to the sheet. That's been posted on a variety of discords across the community and is now available for your consumption as well. So the refinery is a nice boost, but it still has some work to do and a little ways to go here. The other thing, of course, is that the ship does have its own little research bracket in the starship tree here. All the way out here at the end, and including some of those are some things that do lower material costs and stuff for ships and whatnot. So that's not lowering ship parts though. That's just material. So that's crystal gas and ore, and then here's a separate one for ship parts that'll lower that a little bit further too. So it helps make things a little cheaper while also giving you stuff. So it's attacking the problem from both sides. So again, there's some benefits to having it and doing this stuff and doing the loop, but again, it's another loop. So that's my opinion on the new ship and stuff and what it's got going on, and it seems like it'll be okay, but I think I'll just wait patiently and be looking forward to doing this content in July.